Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Okay, so we are at verse 4 of chapter 5. I had explained last time, and we had not read Swamiji's commentary. So that's where we were. And just to recap, we were talking about two different paths, Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyas Yoga. And Arjun wanted to kind of run away, take sannyas, and Krishna Bhagavan is explaining to him that actually both of them lead to the same goal. And depending on your own personality, you should choose the right path. And whichever path you are steadfast in, it can take you to the same goal. So very, very important not to get, oh, that person is doing that, that's why I need to do that. No, that's not how it works. You should find out where you stand. In the end, we all have to become quote-unquote sannyasi in a sense mentally. Then he explains that, that is the most important thing. And even karma yoga, if done correctly, with diligence, will slide you into it. And it is a much easier path if that's what your mind is made up of, that kind of thing. And most of us fall into that category, without judging individually. Each person has to figure out for themselves. He's talking about in general. But one thing is for sure, Krishna Bhagavan personally but he told Arjun that, hey, for you, karma yoga is it. That's it. He kind of prescribed him that, Bhagwan himself. So with that little background, we can read. And in this particular verse, he's talking about that how spiritually people who are not very advanced, children, here he's talking about children, but person who are spiritually ignorant, they think that these two paths are different, but actually they are the same because they take you to the same goal. So with that, who would like to read today? Sushilji, you want to read? You're already unmuted, Sushilji.
Did you talk to me?
Yeah, I was because I thought you unmuted, so maybe you wanted to read. So you can go ahead and read. Yeah.
Because I have the old book, but I think I'll read it from there.
Yeah, that's fine. If there is something, we'll see.
Two methods are indicated for turning an ordinary act into a divine action of dedication and worship. It can either be done by the renunciation of the concept of agency in every action, or by a consistent refusal to get dissipated by our unintelligent preoccupation with our anxieties for the fruits of action. The former is called Sankhya method, and the latter is called simple karma yoga.
So there is one paragraph that was missing in yours, and maybe Meena ji, you can read that if you have that new book. Do you have new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have to read the English translation of the verse also. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Children, not the wise, speak of Sankhya knowledge and yoga of action as distinct. He who is truly established even in one obtains the fruit of both. Continuing his arguments in order to convince Arjuna that there is no contradiction between the path of Sankhya and the path of karma, the stanza is given. Here it must be carefully noted that the word Sankhya is not used as a technical term indicating the Sankhya school of philosophy. The word Sankhya, it more logically means enumeration. In any philosophy of thought, the sequence of logic by which the final conclusions are arrived is called the Sankhya of the philosophy.
Okay.
Now he can read two methods.
Yeah, so he already read that. Maybe you can read it, so we'll have a continuation of what the thought. You can continue, Minaji, since your book is
Okay.
more. Yeah.
Should I continue with two methods?
Yeah,
Is
and then
that-
I will explain. Yeah, continue with the two.
Okay. Two methods are indicated by turning an ordinary act into a divine action of dedication and worship. It can either be done by the renunciation of the concept of agency in every action or by a consistent refusal to get dissipated by our unintelligent preoccupation with our anxieties for the fruits of our action. The former is called the Sankhya method, and the latter is called simple Karma Yoga.
Okay, so let's kind of discuss this, what he's talking about. So firstly, here he mentioned Sankhya, and the yoga. So here he's just telling you that we have used the word Sankhya before for many different things, because here is a subtle subject, so the context is very important. And basically, he's just saying that two methods are Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyas. And here, I think this is what Meenaji you were explaining last time, right? That two different things. One is, either can be done by giving up concept of agency in every action, meaning like doership, ahankar, main kar rahi hu kind of thing. Or the other thing is refusal to get dissipated by the unintelligent preoccupation with your anxiety for the fruits of action, meaning giving up the fruit of action, saying that, hey, my work is more important. As long as I'm working dedicated to the higher, I'm not going to worry about the result, because remember in Karma Yoga we say result is a prasad from God, and we accept no matter what it is. And I don't know better, but God knows better. So even if from my perspective it looks negative, but if God wants that way, this is what it is. That's how we have to look. So the karma sannyas is more connected with this renunciation of concept of agency or ahankar, and the other one. And obviously, out of the two, the giving of the fruit of action is a lot easier. And he's going to explain why in the next, couple of verses. Paragraphs.
Why I was so confused, because in the third chapter, they already said of both the things, right? They said of the doership as well as the fruits of
right.
Therefore,
So
now defining it in two different ways, specifying one and the other, and done to be serial. That's what they're defining.
So like all these topics are not very cut and dry. Wait, I have to do mute over here. Okay, I did it. Each topic has a lot of different aspects to it, right? So when we say sannyas, the general idea, the way Arjun was thinking was become a sannyasi, that kind of sannyas, right? And here Krishna Bhagwan slowly is bringing to him and saying, first of all, it's not that sannyas is better than being a householder. That's what first thing he says, okay? Yeah. And then secondly, in the end, they all come to the same point. He's talking about sannyas at the level of mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the outer thing can be, you can be a householder, you can be a sannyasi in a gufa. That does not matter. In the end, man ka sannyas dono ko lena padega. Or इस method से भी ठीक है, उस method से भी ठीक है, but depends on how your mind is made up of. And then in that whole thing, this other idea is also woven in, like ahankar and giving up a fruit of action. So when जो कर्म योगी होता है ना, उसका main focus action पे होता है, because he is like, he has to do, firstly he's a householder, then he has to do 100 different actions and all that. So then how do you, then your attitude is like that, right? जो कर्म संन्यास यानी जो संन्यास जिसने ले लिया है, उसके लिए वो सब काम तो है नहीं. His focus is main on gaining the knowledge. So for him, he can directly go, I want to drop the ahankar. हम लोग तो कर भी नहीं पाएंगे वो. And then he's going to tell you in the next couple of verses, it's going to open up more. He's saying, जैसे कि कांटा ही कांटे को काटता है. So if we are doing wrong actions, तो वो सही action से ही ठीक होगा. You cannot jump from wrong action to suddenly sannyas. It's not going to happen. You know, it's like, okay, I have to go to Olympics, and I'm very skilled at something, but if I don't do this, my stretching and my those exercise to build up my stamina, I can't even go. Something like that, So you have to take it. That's why I always say that for Bhagavad Gita, you have to keep a very open mind and expand your horizons. Hear everything that Krishna Bhagavan is saying, and then it will fit somewhere in your brain. All the little puzzles, because they all flow into each other, So that's what it is. Yeah. So he's just explaining to him in a different angle, because we have discussed it many times that chapter 2 he said everything that he wanted to say, but सब कुछ हमें भी समझ में नहीं आया और ना ही अर्जुन को समझ में आया. अब वो अलग अलग ढंग से उसको खोल रहे हैं. So that's how we have to look at it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, sannyas and leaving everything. And to me, sannyas meant, okay, leave everything and just concentrate jnana yoga type thing, okay? And then here we say karma sannyasa yoga. That means the karma is involved with it. That means the doership is involved in this sannyas that he's talking about. The doership more is involved, that you leave the doership. And that sannyas is mentally. He's talking about that mental sannyas in here.
True. And
two things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the word karma sannyas is also meant in a way, even the householder has to do a little bit of karma sannyas, because I told you that we do a lot of faltu ka stuff. Like हर एक चीज की एक उम्र भी होती है करने की. Like after a while we give up that certain kind of parties and all that, and then because if householder keeps saying, oh, I don't have time, I'm so busy, I don't have time, that's when you have to do a little bit of karma sannyas, right? You have to drop certain, and then what he's saying, that if you follow karma yoga the way Krishna Bhagavan has prescribed it, automatically you will slide into karma sannyas. Those useless actions will drop, and you will want to meditate. You will want to go into knowledge. You will want to find out. Questions will arise in your mind, spiritual questions. And then later on, he's going to tell us that if you have not done karma yoga and you want to directly go into sannyas, it is very difficult. It's not impossible. It's like somebody has not done high school and somebody has not done graduation and wants a PhD degree. तो वो जाएगा जब PhD डिग्री लेने के लिए, तो उसको तकलीफ होगी कि नहीं? उसको बहुत सारी चीजें सीखनी पड़ेगी जो दूसरों ने सीख ली है. That's what it is. And this guy is like so ambitious. Krishna Bhagavan is not saying it cannot be done. He's saying it's just too difficult. Why you want to mess with it? Too difficult. That's what he's saying.
All right. The sannyas technique is not available to everyone, since the renunciation of agency is not easy unless the practitioner is highly intellectual and has in himself a capacity to see the collective universe in action. Only when we see the total logic of things can we really come to feel the insignificance of our individual ego in all our achievements, in our successes.
So we had discussed that to drop this ahankar, you have to have a very expansive mind, and you have to see your place in the universe. And like on one hand, moment you think of the universe and yourself, you realize how insignificant you are, and the ahankar kind of drops. But usually वो temporary होता है हमारा.
True.
The moment we get into the world और किसी ने जरा सा कुछ बोल दिया, how dare he say this, और हम पूरा वो लड़ने मरने को तैयार हो जाते हैं. But like otherwise that with the science and all that, we know that our role is so minuscule that kahan ka ahankar, and like our teacher used to say, oh, मैं ये कर सकता हूँ, वो कर सकता हूँ. People are brag about it so much, about their talents and this and that. कभी-कभी दिमाग, as we get older, memory थोड़ा क्षीण हो जाती है. We cannot do, and all of a sudden, where did it go? Once we fall sick, we can't even get up, right? So it's like there is so much grace and help coming from everywhere to make us do this. And even when we say, I did this, I did that, hundreds and thousands of people helped us unknowingly. We don't even, all that fits into this, that, that, hey, I'm nothing. It's the whole universe is working for me. That's why I'm achieving what I'm achieving. But that, to stay in that thought continuously is a very hard thing to do. And that's why you have to start with Karma Yoga. And I don't know how many of you saw that, heard that story that I sent everybody about the Dharma Vyad story, because that man said it very, very beautifully, that how a simple housewife doing her thing achieved much more than the guy who was sitting as a sannyasi. He did achieve some siddhis, but he was neither happy nor he achieved the heights that the housewife did by just doing her Karma Yoga. अनिल जी,
कुमार जी, उसमें वो जो आपने लिंक भेजी थी, वो कौशिक, he achieved all the संन्यास उसने बहुत किया, जाप वगैरह, but mentally he was nowhere at all.
Right. Because वो अपने कर्तव्य से भागा था सबसे पहले. उसको लगा था वो पाथ बेटर है, अपने माँ बाप को छोड़ के चला गया था. एंड देन, और उन्होंने जानबूझ के धर्मव्याद को चुना जो बुच्चर को पकड़ा. मीन्स लाइक, बिकॉज कोई स्टोरी बोलनी होती है तो वो एक्सट्रीम में बोलेंगे तभी ज्यादा हमको इफेक्ट होता है कि माय गॉड. बट उसका दोष नहीं था कि ही वाज बोर्न एज इन अ बुचर्स फैमिली. इन दोज डेज दैट्स हाउ इट वाज. व्हाटएवर द फादर्स प्रोफेशन वाज, सन हैज टू टेक ओवर. Things have changed now, but within whatever God gave him, he did Karma Yoga style. That's how he achieved it. That's what they're trying to say. So I think there was a very interesting point that they were trying to say, and that's exactly what we are studying here.
Right. Amazingly, how they demonstrated through the butcher.
Yes.
He was not meditating, not doing anything.
Exactly.
Just the proper karma yoga, 100% from morning till evening.
Yes.
But one question I had, how would Kaushik have known what he was supposed to do?
So that's kind of interesting. What one of the Swamis was explaining, that in olden days, sometimes people didn't read Gita, didn't read Upanishad, nothing. But there were some sanskaras that came down from their parents, do this kind of sadhana and, be nice to Atiti Devo Bhava, koi aa jaye ghar mein to uska सम्मान करो, और, गाय को रोटी दो, ये वो पशु पक्षियों का ध्यान रखो. All that was imbibed. वो करते 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 मन, क्या बोलते हैं, पवित्र हो जाता है. और उस पवित्र मन में फिर ये प्रश्न उठेगा, देन यू विल गो मोर, देन फिर ज्ञान की बातें समझ में आएगी. और वे जब ज्ञान बोलते हैं ना, ज्ञान की बातें समझ में आना, इट इज नॉट रियली कि कोई उसको शास्त्र समझ में आ जाएगा. नॉट लाइक दैट. जो एक गूढ़ बातें होती है ना, हाउ टू बी अ गुड पर्सन, हाउ टू स्प्रेड लव, हाउ टू डू ऑल दैट, जो भगवान ने जो वर्च्यूज बताए हैं ना, वो सब आने लगते हैं. And that is, and then, attachment come hone lagta hai. And you see the bigger picture. That's the road it takes then. So it is like when you are doing the right karma and the right attitude, it leads you to that knowledge.
It purifies your mind.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why sometimes, when we look back, some of our grandmas and all that, some people in the family were very shant and very good, and everybody wanted to be with them. And they really were not big pandits of any shastras or anything like that. But they led a very spiritual life, and when they passed away, very spiritually too. Because they went to higher planes, So that's what it is.
Like when, in this clip that I was watching that you sent, Dharma Vyada, just minute things like he was giving a little bit of extra meat to all his customers, and he called the customers his God.
Yes.
Because, so those kind of things.
Yes, exactly. And he would ask them, how's your family, this, that. He was just a good-hearted person. And when we meet good-hearted person, they don't have a certificate that they're good. We just know it. right? Because of the way their actions are and the way they behave, we know it. We बोलते हैं ना, मन से पता चल जाता है कि this person is good hearted.
And these people are very, very joyful all the time.
Yes, that's another very important side effects that come out, that the person is joyful. They sleep well and they just spread joy.
That's what stunned Kaushik when he saw the lady at the house.
Yes.
With all the chaos.
She was just like totally fine. Yeah, very. I love that, and that saint who says the story, he has such a knack to. You want to hear him. So whoever is not listened, please listen to it. It is such a joyful just to listen to that Swami also, because he is just phenomenal. I have seen there उसने और भी कई कहानियाँ बताई हैं, and then we should listen to all of them because it will stay with us. Storytelling is an art, and that saint has it, how to tell a story. Yes.
Very funny guy. Yes.
So Meena ji, you had something to say?
No, I was just going to say, it to me, it's the innocence in the person. That, the way you show it, the butcher and all.
Yeah.
There was so much innocence, which I think we lack in this age.
Yes, exactly. That's why.
Even the children don't have that, what they had.
And the children are reflection of us only. We only teach them all this cunningness, competition, this, that, We teach them, unfortunately. So you can't even blame the children. It's the way the society and we have become.
Right, true, very true, yeah. Okay. Here the Lord insists that only undeveloped childish minds can find contradiction between these two methods, while wise men who have lived either of the paths will vouchsafe for the equal effectiveness of both of them. Whether we practice the renunciation of our agency idea or live a life of detachment from the fruits of our actions, if, as seekers, we're consistently persevering in our chosen path, we shall come to the goal, which is the same whether we follow the one or the other of the paths.
So this we have discussed, that what Krishna Bhagavan is saying, either one you can choose and it will lead you, but if your mental makeup is of certain kind, then you are more fit to start with Karma Yoga. That's how we have to look at it.
The second line has been found interpreted by a European student of the Gita as, well established in both, the seeker gains the one fruit. Herein the commentator has taken in the prose order ekam with phalam. No doubt this gives a better meaning inasmuch as those who are following both these methods of Karma Yoga shall reach the one eternal goal, namely the God consciousness.
So he at those time, maybe some European commentator, because they had their own way of looking at it. But anyway, for us, this is how we have to look at it. Both the paths, they lead to the same thing, and there is no competition among the path like that at all. You just start where you are and you will end up at the same place. That's it.
Okay, just read the next.
Yeah, you can read that and then I can ask.
How can a man obtain the results of both? By the right observance of only one. The answer follows.
He will just open up, a little more about the same concept in the next one. But anyway, any other comment, question, or somebody wants to add anything for this?
Yeah, I think Uma.
Go ahead, Manju.
This thing was just coming in my mind that in the older, even in present, हम लोग ये घर में पूजा करते हैं और छोटा सा पूजा रूम बनाते हैं और पूजा करते हैं, तो उसमें ना ये सांख्य और कर्म दोनों आ जाता है, क्योंकि जब सुबह उठ करके when you finish all your household duty, you're sitting by yourself and you read little bit of Gita, or you read little bit of Ramayana, whatever it is, and then you do the puja, so your mind and your duties, they all start rolling in the correct direction from the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a very simple and a very nice way of putting things in perspective. For a layman and the modern thing, and then everybody does study the Gita or something or the other.
Yeah.
So that also becomes very helpful, I think.
Of course. Yeah.
It's like putting the direction in your GPS that morning.
Yes, very good. I think Anilji comes up with the best analogies. You should write down your analogies. They are so good. Then सुबह सुबह ही डालो अपना direction. Yes, very good. Anything else? So we can go to the next one. Verse 5 of chapter 5. Yatsyankhye praptye sthanam tadyogerapi gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yapashyati sapashyati. Yat is that, Sankhye is by the Sankhyas, prapyate reach, sthanam place, tat that, yoge by the yogis. Karma yogi, that's what. Whenever he uses just the word yoga in Bhagavad Gita, it always means like karma yoga. Api is also, gamyate is reached. Ekam, one. Sankhyam, the Sankhya, here he's talking Sankhya as a knowledge. Cha is an. Yogam is yoga, again, performance of action. Cha is an. Ya is who. Pashyati, sees. He sees. Again, he's pashyati, sees. So, yahan par pashyati is more like not seeing physically, because pashyati means, if you just say the word pashyati means to see with your eyes, he's talking about realizing something. Or we had discussed it that, oh, I see karke hum log bolte hain, not I'm seeing, I'm understanding. That's what it means. From that context, he's talking about personal experience. So, he's just, the same concept is elaborating more to make Arjun understand कि तूने संन्यास नहीं लिया तो you're not missing out on anything. You know, because उसको लग रहा था कि oh मैं fast track पे पहुंच जाना चाहता हूँ, you know. And all of us have that कि मैं जल्दी से मुझे मिल जाए, कोई भी चीज़ हमको चाहिए तो हम बोलते हैं बस आज ही मिल जाए, you know. So it's telling him no, don't worry, you will reach the same place, have patience, you know, like a father giving little assurance. So he's just explaining कि ये दोनों एक ही जगह पे पहुंचेंगे. So let's kind of see what it is. So here, you know, he was just explaining that ultimate destination of both of them is same, which is a realization of the self. And then, you know, the Dilli Wale Swami was explaining that he took a path of karma sannyas. Okay, so because they, you know, जो लोग वो लोग पढ़ने जाते हैं ना वो चिन्मया मिशन के थ्रू सन्यासी कोर्स का वगैरह, so उनको क्या करना पड़ता है, they drop everything. They don't have to worry about, you know, making a living and all that because their expenses are taken care of. So they have to focus 100% on knowledge. You know, they wake up in the morning, they do meditation, study of Vedanta, all of that. But he said, that doesn't mean we are not doing any karma. Because udhar bhi kaam hota tha. You wash your own clothes, you do seva, you take care of clean the ashram. All of that, again, you have to turn in karma yoga mode. You cannot over there go there and start saying, oh, you know, मेरे को तो आदत ही नहीं है सब करने की, whatever, you know, I'm just saying. So एक साधु को भी जब वो ये path लेता है तो उसको कई बार ये सब कर्म करने पड़ते हैं. So, but basically what Bhagwan is saying, that okay, you can take that path if that's what is conducive to your mind, and that will also lead you to knowledge. So he's both of the path he's praising. He's not saying that one is better than the other or nothing like that. Okay, and but karma yoga is just, it takes you in stages. So you're directly not going to knowledge. You are going in stages, and it then again the karma yoga also leads you to knowledge only. So that's why it is. Goal is the same. You go this way or that way, but the main thing is, you have to be well established in whatever you are doing. So you cannot start mixing things, you know. You are a householder and you know, to your family, nahi, main to sannyasi hu ji. You can't do that. Oh, sannyasi baith ke, he cannot become like a householder. So whatever path you take, you be well established in that. And then he's just assuring Arjun that don't worry, it will lead to the same goal. You're not missing out on anything. And then okay, so what he was, another point that so I'm trying to see what the Swamiji, because he brought some very, very interesting points. that he said that sannyas, when he's talking about karma sannyas, so it's like, okay, in Arjun's mind, dropping everything and going somewhere. Some people do that, but just taking a sannyasi clothes or just, going somewhere is not going to help you. Why? Because his mind was not made up of that way. So what he would have done, suppose if he did that, suppose Arjun चला गया सन्यासी के कपड़े पहन के हिमालय पे बैठ गया, तो वो मेडिटेट तो करेगा, लेकिन वो दुर्योधन पे मेडिटेट करेगा. He will not meditate upon what he went there for. So what he was telling us is that is anadhikari cheshta, means you are not qualified for something and you are doing it. So if you start doing what you are not qualified to do, you do so much havoc happens. तुम्हारे मन में भी हैवक होता है और आसपास वाले लोगों को भी बहुत तकलीफ होती है when you start doing what you are not qualified to do. So, and he gave a beautiful example, just like an analogy he gave us. I thought it was a nice one. It's like, in body we are all different organs, right? We have heart and we have liver and we have this, and each one is good in doing what they are doing, and that's how you sustain the body. Suppose the heart starts saying, अरे मेरे को ये पंप करना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, I want to become a liver and I want to do what liver is doing. Now you can see what will happen. Or in the worldly example, you can see, कि it's almost a joke also, कि किसी व्यापारी को तुम राजा की गद्दी पे बिठा दो, तो वो राजपाट नहीं समझ लगा, व्यापार करने लगेगा. और ये डेमोक्रेसी में होने लगा ऐसा बहुत कुछ. People who come with business tendency, वो वहाँ भी दूसरे देशों से सब business deal में ज़्यादा interested and not in like bringing the country up. So this wisdom is there. कि whatever you're qualified, do that for God's sake. Don't start taking up other job. That's the point I wanted to bring. And then he is bringing that what exactly is a karma sannyas. So he's going to briefly mention that again over here in next couple of verses. And then the chapters, the way they are named. The last chapter was named Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and this one is called Karma Sannyasa because chapter 4 में उन्होंने ज्ञान की भी बातें बताई थी. Actually इसीलिए अर्जुन को थोड़ा confusion हो गया कि भाई I want to go, मैं directly क्यों ना ज्ञान पे जाऊँ? Why I have to mess with all this? Directly PhD क्यों नहीं कर लूँ? अभी मेरे पास डिग्री नहीं है बैचलर्स की, but मैं फिर भी वही करना चाहता हूँ. So let's read now. Anybody has any question? Okay, who is my next volunteer to read? If I don't have one, then Meera ji is the one who's going to read.
That place which is reached by the Sankhyas, Jnanis, is also reached by the yogis, Karma yogis. He sees who sees Sankhya and Yoga as one.
So same idea, right? यहाँ पर वो सांख्य means ज्ञानी is reached by the yogis, and then he sees who sees means जो इस बात को जानता है वही असली में he's seeing the right thing, basically understanding the right thing.
Categorically, Lord Krishna insists therein that the goal reached by the Sankhya method is also readily reached by those who are practicing the karma technique. He who experiences this common goal of both these paths is the one who really understands the truth of the Vedas. Here the word seeing, pasyati, is used in the spiritual meaning of the term.
Scriptural.
So,
it's a scriptural meaning of the term, right?
Oh, scriptural. I'm sorry. Is used in the scriptural meaning of the term, and so does not indicate a mere physical power act of perception. In the Advaita philosophy, Atman is not seen as anything other than the seer, but it is the experience of the seer by the seer himself as himself. The term seeing is used here only to confirm that the experience of the reality could be as intimate and beyond all doubts as it would be when we see any object with our own eyes from very near quarters.
So he just explaining that because this word comes a lot in Vedanta Pashyati and it has a much deeper meaning. So he's saying just like you would see a thing with our own eyes and then we have no doubts, the same way this person, he understands it so well and he sees it from his light of knowledge or whichever way you want to look at it, that it's the same goal.
Isn't it as the direct experience when you see the seer?
Yes,
and
direct
the
experience.
direct experience of that, right?
And
I mean, that's how I did.
yeah.
That's how I thought I understood.
Anybody saw that movie, Ramanuj ki movie? I don't remember kya naam tha uska movie ka. It was a Hollywood movie done in English.
Oh, about the mathematician.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So one time somebody asked him that because he did not get any formal education, but he was like, he was doing math theories better than any of the professors who had done all the PhD. And so somebody asked him, how do you do this? So what he did, he picked up a sand and he put it on his hand. And he said, do you see this? What do you see? They said, I see sand. So what he said that when the math ka analogy, I see it as each different grain I can see. It gives like chill. That's how his mind was, so advanced that we can't even fathom it, what it was. But he's seeing all these things so clearly, and that's how he's coming up with it. And then we know that there are some people who are autism and they look at one thing for 50 seconds and then they can draw the detail of it. You cannot imagine how they will draw the detail of it. They just imprint ho jate hain unke mind. So when you see, seeing has so many different, it's again a huge topic. And we know that, remote viewing also. Now they call it remote viewing, but extrasensory perception people have. I'm sitting over here and I can see what is happening 2 miles away. And it's proven in the modern science because I'm interested in this parapsychology and also I will see, and there are experiments that they're doing and all the big universities they're doing and they are recognizing it, that some humans have that power. So when you're saying seeing, hundreds of aspects of seeing are there, And within our own vision also, like we have our sensory perception, people have different ones. जो लोग ब्लाइंड होते हैं ना जन्म से, उनके दूसरे सेंसरी परसेप्शन बहुत हाई होते हैं. So when it comes to seeing, there are intellectual seeing, physical seeing, everything. So one person seeing something may be different from the other. But here, obviously, they're talking about understanding, experiencing it.
In thus synthesizing both Sankhya and Karma, it is not meant that they together form an alloy. They both must be practiced serially. We can consider them as one and the same, inasmuch as Karma Yoga purifies the intellect and gives a greater poise for meditation. Sankhya, through which alone is the final experience achieved. Thus, a combination of these two is possible serially and not simultaneously. This is to be very carefully noted by all sincere students.
So we have hashed it out. This we know very well now, that the reason Karma Yoga is so important for all of us is because it takes away impurities of the mind. Because without that, you cannot move forward. So it's like, taking a dirty vessel and then putting milk in it, wo kharab ho jayega milk. So even the knowledge what we will receive if we directly go without purifying, it will be corrupted knowledge. And I think that in India, a lot of those things have happened. That some of those dhongi people and all, they do that, no? Like they take that knowledge and usko ekdam uska kooda kachra bana ke they are presenting it to bhola bhala people. and looting them and all that. So a lot of negative things can happen. That's why it's so important, to go the correct method. Any question, comment, or anybody wants to add anything? Okay, so what we can do is, the next verse is kind of a little bit bigger, and it is 15 minutes. So we can go to Kathopanishad, because that one also has a lot of, it's very complementary right now what's going on over there, but it is a lot more discussion because the real subject has started over there too. Yeah. So shall I close? Anybody has anything? सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम.